cannot run or hide.
See if they exile it or not. They do exile it. We get there. Hi there, I'm the BigCraigO and welcome to the next in the Deck Tech series. Today we're going to be doing all things Abzan in the form of control. So it's Abzan's the colours of green, white and black. Probably my favourite combination of colours as far as the styles of decks that this has had over the history of my time playing Magic. Yeah, look, it's a really solid colour scheme as far as within those three colours, and generally speaking, the decks that have those three colours I enjoy playing. So let's see if this next one's going to be as good. Yeah, look, I think we'll just go and check out the cards and I can talk you through what I think of the deck. Well, here we are looking at the deck itself. Basically, during this sort of thing, we talk about the card selection and what's in here. They talk about the way that the cards interact with each other, the synergy of it, if you will, and then obviously the mana base. We are playing best of one, so there's no sideboard for this particular deck, but ultimately what it comes down to is it wouldn't be particularly hard to tool this to your local meta if you needed to, if you're playing in a physical sense. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. So in the 2-drop slot, we have 2 Agonizing Remorse. This is a sort of hand disruption spell. It's a sorcery speed. It lets you have a look at your opponent's hand. You get to choose a non-land card from it or a graveyard, I should say, and you get to exile that card. You lose 1 life to do it. That's completely fine. It's a really good card to see what your opponent's line of play is, to be able to strip out any recursion pieces if they're using their graveyard. I think it's a solid selection for this particular deck. We run a full play set of 4 Dream Devourers, a 1 black, 1 other for an 0/3 Demon Cleric. Each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. So basically Foretell is the ability to be able to pay 2, put it into exile, and then it means that you could actually pay that cost -2 of whatever card did normally cost. So as an example, if you had a card that cost 6 mana, you foretold it, it would now cost 4 mana when you played it from there. So it's a way of being able to sort of lay away the cost of a card. The other thing is too, every time you foretell, the Dream Devourer gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So it's a great way of being able to pump that creature up. Humiliate, 1 black, 1 other, 1 black, 1 white, sorry, for a sorcery speed card. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it. That player discards the card, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Pretty useful. I love Vanishing Verse, 1 black, 1 white. Exile target monocolored permanent. It is really good. It's an instant speed spell. It's very powerful. If you're playing against monocolored decks, it decimates them. But just be mindful, things that are colorless or things that have multiple colors, it doesn't work on them. In the 3-drop slot, we've only got 3 cards, all 3 Elspeth's Nightmares. 1 black, 2 other for a Saga. Destroy target creature and opponent controls with power 2 or less. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Sensing a theme about stripping cards out of your opponent's hand here, I'm sure. And the 3rd mode on this Saga is exile target opponent's graveyard. Also graveyard hate, which is good. 4 drops, we run 2 Baleful Mastery, 1 black, 3 other for the full casting cost mode. Exile target creature or planeswalker, straight up. You can also opt to pay it for 1 black, one other, so slightly cheaper, but then your opponent will get to draw a card if you do that. We run 2 extinction events. This has been around for quite some time. People should be familiar with it. If they're not, you're probably going to be if you're starting to play Arena. 1 black, 3 other. It's a sorcery speed. Choose odd or even. Exile each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. So if you play it and you choose odd, all odd creatures disappear. They get exiled. Even, same thing happens. Any tokens, counters 0, which is even. Run 3 Binding of the Old Gods, 1 green, 1 black, and 2 other. This is the first green splash that this deck has, so as you can tell, it's important you get your white and black right to start off with, and then you can build into your green. This is another saga. First mode of this is to destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. Second is to search your library for a forest card, put it in the battlefield and tapped, and then shuffle your library. And then third is creatures that you control gain death touch until end of turn. My most useful experiences with this particular card have always been the first mode, destroying target non-land permanent. That's what I like to use it for. The rest of it is just upside, it's just extra value. So paying 4 to destroy a non-land permanent seems fairly good, and you get 2 extra things, 2 extra benefits if you will. Moving on to the 5-drop slot, and this is fairly chunky for most decks. You don't see this many 5 or higher. So we run 2 ECDs, is what people call them, but Elsbeth Conquers Death, which is 2 white, 3 other for another saga. First mode is to exile target permanent opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. Second mode is non-creature spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And thirdly is return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter or loyalty counter on it. So it just gives you that extra bit of punch when you return it from your graveyard. Run 2 Shadow's Verdict. This is a backbreaker for a lot of the mono white decks and some of the mono red decks. 2 black, 3 other for a sorcery speed. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with mana value 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalker cards with mana value 3 or less from all graveyards. Pretty powerful. Run 3 Elder Gargaroths. So 2 green, 3 other. It's a 6/6 creature beast. This is turning into one of the boogeymen of the format. There's a lot of decks currently that I've been playing against that run 3 or more of these, e.g. 3 or 4. It has vigilance, it has reach, it has trample. When it attacks or blocks, you get to create a 3/3 beast creature token, or gain 3 life, or draw another card. Very, very powerful. Great card at 5 cost for a 6/6 with all of those abilities, plus also getting the opportunity to be able to do multiple beneficial things each turn. It's very, very good. And moving on to the final in the 5-drop slot, we run 2 Kaya the Inexorable. I think that's how you pronounce it. 1 black, 1 white, 3 other for a 5 loyalty planeswalker, Kaya. +1, you put a ghost form counter on up to 1 target non-token creature. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile, return it to its owner's hand and create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Value. -3, exile target non-land permanent, and -7, get an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your hand, from your graveyard, excuse me, hand from your graveyard or from among cards you own in exile without paying its mana cost. Seems fairly good. Okay, 6-drop slot. This is where this deck sort of tops out. We run 2 Vorinclex. This Vorinclex is a 6/6 Phyrexian Praetor creature. It's got trample, it's got haste, and if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters that on that permanent or player instead. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put half as many. So gives you extra benefits, gives them less benefits. Great for things like planeswalkers. When they +1, all of a sudden it's like, oh, +1 means +2 when they come into play. If they come into play, as you can see with Garuk there, 5, he'd actually come into play with 10 counters on him, which means you could ultimate it straight away. Hopefully I get to do that. Very, very powerful card, and it's 6/6 to boot. Moving on to the next one, we've got a Theros Shroud Veiled, 1 black, 1 white, 4 other for a 4/7 God legendary enchantment creature. It is indestructible as long as your devotion to white and black is less than 7. It isn't a creature. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. Whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or it is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Very cool. If you've got some removal in hand, you know you're going to target something, just put a counter on it, kill it, you get it back. Very cool. Finally, a Garruk Cursed Huntsman, 1 green, 1 black, 4 other for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. It's got a 0 casting cost for its first mode. Create 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on Garruk. -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. And -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control get +3/+3 and have trample. Very, very powerful. Mana base for this: 2 plains, 3 swamps, 2 forests. They're really basics. EG straightforward, fairly balanced. We run a full 4 pathways for black and green. We run 2 of the pathways for white and green. Run 4 of the triomes for this color sort of setting, which is the black, the green, and the white. We run 4 Fable Passages to let us to sort of do that mana fixing, and a single Field of Ruin just to pick out the optimum land to blow up later on. There is no sideboard, as I said before, because we're playing best of 1. Yeah, look, without further ado, let's go and check out the mana curve. Well, we have a look here. We have an average of 3.9, which for a control deck is not too bad. 11 creatures in total, 24 non-creatures. As you can see there, we're running 25 land. Most control decks run 23, 24, 25, 26, depending on what they've got to cast. As you can see, there is a slant toward the black element within this deck, but you've got equal white and green as well. I think this deck's going to be really solid, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. So without further ado, let's go and play some games. Okay, so for those of you that aren't aware, I always play the first game up against Sparky. This gives me an opportunity just to get in with the lines of play, get comfortable with the cards, etc, etc. Sparky is Arena's AI program, so just gives me a little bit more time than if I was playing against a human opponent who will react more quickly and also get frustrated if I drag my feet thinking about what I'm doing more than normal. Let me have a look here. So this hand here is a bit awkward as far as coming into play tapped, but I think I'll keep it only because it's got a Gargaroth in it. So we'll keep it and see how we go. Yeah.
It's a game, so remember to have fun.
Thanks, Sparky. I intend to bring this into play tap. So the Triome is a very cool card. Play the other land there. I should have actually played a Fabled Passage, but anyway. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Didn't really matter anyway. There we go. Play the Nightmare. Kill their creature. Their Water King Shaman. Okay, they're drawing some cards. Let's have a look at their hand. Definitely get rid of that Water Knot. Play this. Yep. End turn. Pass it over. Sure. I love the sound of the water that that card makes. It's pretty cool. Another green. Exile their graveyard. That's fine. Do a bit of deck thinning here so we grab more fuel. Yeah, I'll take another green just to make sure we're cool. play the Gargaroth. No attacks. Probably should have actually foretold it and then played it, because then that would have got a +2/+0 until the end of turn. Alright. Okay. A bit more deck thinning happening here. Yep. Right, how come I can't pass this? A black, got a white, two other. Yes. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to attack with this. I don't understand why I couldn't play that. What am I missing here? Weird. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted to happen. Super uncool. No blocks. Player lands. Player this.
Yikes.
Foretell. No attacks. I'm gonna put up my own thing just so if it does get killed, I'll get it back. Sure. No blocks. Down to 6, that's less good. Okay. Play him.
You ever listen to the crickets? It's my kind of music.
Look at that.
Looks like you're not ready to survive.
No attacks. End turn. Sure. So he drops down to 1. And Byron Kleck seems fairly good.
Powerful cards.
We were born for the hunt.
See if we can do some damage here. Push through. Alright, interesting. I would suggest that's probably the next thing that needs to die. Only because it's got some level of power. Interesting. Go this way.
You cannot run or hide.
Attack with those. Drops a 14. Yeah. Alright. As I said, Sparky's make some interesting choices. Okay. Interesting. That's fairly powerful. Go the attack step. Next. Yeah. And wow.
Want to play again?
Thanks, Sparky, but no, I'll be alright. Hopefully this deck can play like this against human opponents. Let's go and find out. Well, this opening hand is not too bad, I guess. We can play the Devourer and then actually put these, foretell these to try and reduce the cost. So let's see how we go. Shun. Is it our opponent? Okay. Play this out. Some mana fixing that came off the top anyway. 2 black mana. And they've foretold something, so that's okay for them. Play a Dream Devourer out. See what happens. Okay. Doesn't kill something, but I can have a look at their hand, try and work out what they're trying to do. Discard 2 cards. Alright, get rid of that. And get rid of that for now. Play this. Foretell that. So I need to draw another green. Yep, Tegrid's Lantern, sure thing. Lose 3 life. Do a bit of this. Attack for 3. There you go. Lose 3 again. Play this. Counter spell, I'm guessing. Maybe not. Lose 3 life, go to 11. Exile that. Attack step. Skull Raid, yeah. I get to draw 2. Cool. Attack for 1, dropping to 15. Pass turn. Yeah. Scryland. Sure. Good game. We get there. Well, that is how this deck is supposed to work, I think. So let's go on to the next one. Well, this hand looks fairly solid. I mean, we've got a backup Voronclex, which is a bit meh. But other than that, it looks pretty good. So we've got all three colours covered. Let's keep it. Say hello to our opponent. Give him a bit of love. I'll play this out just the normal basic land, because I want to see if we draw another green. We draw a filter land, which is great. So we'll play the white. Whoops, I should have played the black land first. Oh well, error number one from this game. So we're up against our opponent Jack. So hopefully Jack doesn't punish me too bad for that misstep. Okay. Now this way. Okay. I'm going to get another green. Got two green, and see if I can resolve this binding the old gods. Binding the old gods. Does resolve. Good. Okay. See if we can resolve this. Yes. Put this into Foretell land. Behold, that's good for them. Less good for us, but you know. They're at 4 mana, we're at 5. They're at 5 now. Okay. Yeah. See if I can get this to resolve. Okay, that's a bit surprising. I got removal. Sure. Seems legit. Alright, so play this, Elder Gargaroth, and foretell this. Foretell this. I just want to protect them from basically getting stripped out of my hand. If I can avoid it, that would be lovely. Okay, 3, 6, 7, 8. Ugin. Okay. Play this. Play this. Play this. Alright, there we go. One Ugin down. How many more to go? That's the question. And we get there again. I just think that people are going to struggle against these decks because it's just grinding onward. Alright, let's go to the next one. Well, this hand looks fairly strong. We've got black. Yeah, okay, it looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'll keep this. Say hello to Corsalt, our opponent. I'm going to play this out to start off with. And then next turn I'll play a black so that we've got Humiliate if we need it. Okay, change of plans. Let's put old mate out. Attack for 2. I do like those sleeves, they are fantastic. Good choice of sleeves, Corsalt. Let's go white. Go see if they counter it or what. Okay. Attack step. So 2 white, 1 black. Thinking another green here. Down to 14 they go. Not happy about them countering everything. Strategic planning, yeah. See if I can resolve this. Oh my lord. Down at 12 they go. Sure. Okay. Let's see how many they discard. There we go. Let's play this, see if it resolves. It does, that's good.
The hunt begins.
Make some
We
of them.
for the hunt.
And 10. Yep.
Send your podcast to the grave. You cannot run or
Sure. Let's go again. Just keep grinding away. Okay, so if they attack for 3, they're crazy. I don't think they will, but we'll see what happens. Sure.
you cannot run or
See if they exile it or not. They do exile it. We get there. Alright, let's go and do the deck wrap up. Nice, 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 nice. This deck fits into exactly how I like to play, which is just that pressure. You just start putting pressure onto your opponent, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure, and they just go, I can't deal with it, and they just bail. Look, I think this deck is really solid. If it isn't something that you have played, check it out. In the notes below, you'll find a link to my Aether Hub page where you'll be able to get the deck list and load it into Arena and have a play. If you're interested in playing control decks, I like the style of this particular one. It just has a lot of answers, and it has these big creatures that you're dropping into play and being able to push damage. So that's really fun to play for me. If I could be as bold, I would say that this deck is I'll say a B, a solid B. I'm almost at B plus level, but I'll say a solid B at this stage. I'd need to play it some more just to fully test it out against a bunch of different opponents. But the deck, from the games I've played and the way the deck performed, I think all in all it's a very solid build. Don't forget, guys, if you look below me here, I've got a couple of supporters of the stream. So Grey Viking Games, in the link tree below this video, you'll be able to find a link to that. If you're interested in getting some cosmetics or codes for Arena, click on that link, it'll take you to their website. Anything you purchase, we get a small kickback that helps us to buy codes and give away on stream. The other sort of supporter from basically the very beginning, Spectrum Games. They're based out of Sydney, Australia. Really great retailer, purveyor of Magic the Gathering cards and accessories. If you're after something in particular, go and check out their web store at www.spectrumgaming.com.au. And if they don't have a particular version of it or anything like that, just send them an email, get in contact with them. They are fairly hooked up and they'll be able to look after you more than likely. At the very least, they'll keep an eye out for you. Yeah. Look guys, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, 7 PM to 10 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Twitch under the BigCraigO. Come and hang out, have a laugh. If you're happy with the video that you've currently watched, feel free to click a subscribe down below on YouTube here. I have a Facebook page, have a Discord, and I stream on Twitch as well as obviously this YouTube. So they're all under the BigCraigO. If you are a follower on Twitch or a subscriber on Twitch, you get access to more in Discord, so extra areas. So feel free to take advantage of that if that's something that interests you. Other than that, guys, I hope to see you soon on Twitch while I'm streaming. Let me know if you drop by that you saw this video. There's something else I wanted to say, something very profound, obviously, because I can't remember what I was going to say. It's okay, it's all good. Other than that, guys, I guess it's probably time for me to wrap it up. So I'll see you on the battlefield.